Okay, everyone, I stopped in after our doctor's appointment today at the end of the day to pick up work and see how things were going. I just want to mention, first of all, that all of the technology cords and all of the power bars were on the floor. There were 3 Chromebooks missing. So let me make this clear. I put everything back. This is how it's supposed to look. You need to make sure it looks like this when you use the things in our classroom. 3 of you took Chromebooks to the French room at some point. You don't have my permission to take Chromebooks out of our classroom. Okay, keep everything here, keep it plugged in, keep it neat and tidy. Thank you. Congratulations to a lot of you who've done some good work this week and last week. Some of you are slacking seriously. Some of you are not reading simple instructions, and I need to give individual feedback to people. I don't normally give individual feedback that everyone can see, but some people are having a hard time reading clear instructions. So let's go through this. The positives here, Thomas, thank you for finishing your answer on the bottom the way I asked, but you'll notice here, Thomas, I've got one more question for you. So I want you to read that, and I want you to answer it down here. Thank you. Owen, this was your first time doing Nobody Knows the Difference. You did a really good job, but I have a question here I want you to answer. Sally, you wrote a really long answer the first time, and I asked you to be concise. Concise means say the same thing with fewer words. Today you wrote another long answer. So this is not concise. Concise means shorter. So you should have stopped writing here. So you need to say, it's an amazing answer. Let me say that. It's an amazing answer, but you need to get a lined piece of paper and you need to write it in 12 lines from here to here. Say the most important information, please. If it's this length, then you are being concise. So you'll see over here, I just said, do a third try, please, Sally. Noah Strecker, thank you for explaining the rest of this. That's great. You're moving on to, I think you gave feedback, so you're fine. You are one of very few people who's actually finished. Caitlin, I'm surprised that in an hour, all you managed to do was read the story and highlight things that you might use for your answer. I would think you might have written an answer, but I guess we all move at our own pace. Make sure you're using your time properly today and get this answer done correctly. Okay, now we have a group of people that didn't read instructions properly. Ethan. I spent a lot of time writing feedback for people, and you'll see right here, I even highlight it in yellow. Next steps, reread the story, write a brief summary of the main events and the characters involved. And look at this, I even made 4 boxes for you to write on. The beginning of the story goes in this box, what happens next in this box, what happens next here, and finally here. Instead, you completely ignored it, and you went and started to write your second try. So I'm going to tell you, go back, write the summary in these boxes because you don't understand the events of the story. And then you can come back and finish your answer. You'll probably have to go off the spaces here. Brock, same thing. You kind of wrote a couple things for the summary, but then decided that you weren't going to do it. And then you went and wrote an answer here. So, and I'm going to tell you that the answer is still wrong. And that's why I told you to do the summary. So when I give you a next step, it's for a reason. It's because I know that you need to do the summary so that you can understand the story. Until you understand the story, you're not able to write a correct answer. This answer is wrong. So you're going to need to get yourself back to the first page here. Write the summary in the boxes I provided very nicely. Get a lined piece of paper, write a new answer because this one's wrong, and staple it to the whole package. Jason, again, next steps. Put the summary in the boxes that I made for you. You didn't do it. Instead, you went to the second try and started without doing what I asked you to do. So go back here, do the summary, then come back and write your answer. I've used 3 of your lines, so you're going to have to go off of this a little bit. Branson, same thing, next steps. Read the story, write a brief summary of the main events, can be in point form. I left it right here for you, and you didn't do it. Instead, you came over here and started writing another answer. So go back, do the summary, then do the answer. Okay, for all these students, I spent a lot of time writing this out by hand for you. And it kind of feels like folks don't know how to read instructions. Mason, same thing. You didn't do the summary. And you didn't do the second try. So actually, I'm going to infer that maybe you were absent today. I hope that maybe you were absent, because otherwise you didn't do anything for an hour. So I'm going to assume you must have been absent. But yes, when you do this, Mason, please do the summary first. Thank you. Mannix. Here you go. Well, in an hour, you wrote 3 words of a summary. So people might be laughing and think that's funny. I don't think it's funny. As you guys have all noticed on the classroom door today, I wrote a quote that says, "What you're doing this week is for your report card." So Mannix, please finish the summary, and then you can attempt the question for a second time. Carson, I wrote you boxes to write your summary for the story. It says, read the text, write a brief summary of the main events and the characters. And instead, you wrote a summary of my instructions. Okay, again, it's not funny. I did notice afterwards that where you were supposed to write the answer, you wrote the summary of the story. Not sure why that happened. And then I see that your answer is here. You have some problems with the answer, so we're going to have to talk when you get back. You'll be doing a different story today for practice. Mathilde, I found you did the same thing as Carson. You put the summary of the story where you're supposed to answer the question. Again, I don't understand why, when I write the boxes and give you all the steps for the summary, why you didn't put your summary here. It seems pretty clear to me. Your answer is here. You have some issues with your answer, so you're going to have to do a new question today with a new story. If I didn't mention your name, it's because you're already previously done. Callum did what he was supposed to do. Reese did what she was supposed to do. So did Ada. So did Lucas. So did Brooke. And so did Grace. So there's, an overwhelming majority of the class didn't do something that was pretty simple. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. You are grade 6 after all, and grade 7, there isn't going to be a teacher that gives this kind of feedback for you and helps you along. So you're going to need to be a lot more responsible. So I'm looking forward to probably coming back on Monday. I've been very sick, and I'm sorry that I haven't been here. I missed you guys very, very much, even though you don't read instructions. But I have missed you very much. Thank you for cooperating well with supply teachers. I've left a detailed plan for teachers every single day, and I haven't had any reports of huge issues. As always, with the exception of 5, 6, or 7 of you, you're being respectful. And thank you for showing that leadership. Thanks to Sally for running the floor hockey. Thanks to our student council for doing morning announcements. Thanks for those of you who've been doing little extras around the classroom to keep the place tidy. I'm sure that many of you during the day have been helping the supply teachers. I know that there's sometimes issues with the sound field, and I know that it can be tricky to use our speaker system. So for those of you that you know that you're doing a good job, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of everybody when they do their best jobs. I feel a little disappointed when you're not. Looking at the shelf up here, again, I'm wondering where the other 2 iPads are. I haven't even looked in the green and black bin over there. I don't know what that looks like. Overall, I think that maybe for tomorrow's schedule, I'm going to put something in the schedule so that you all have some time to spend tidying up. So that'll be built into Thursday's schedule. Anyway, I really look forward to seeing you Monday. We'll have a little celebration when I come back. It'll be awfully nice to see you again. Just a final reminder for Aiden, Andre, Jake, and Noah, make sure that any documents you're doing, if you can't access your school board Google Docs account, make sure that you're doing it in some kind of format and emailing it to me or something, because I need to have access to your documents, okay? Okay, so again, congratulations to those of you who know that you have put forth your best effort.